Okay, family and friends, so it is the end of January and it is raining, and I just love the sound of this rain today. As a gardener, I know how important it is that we get snow and rain. So we've had the snow and now it's really nice to hear the rain. Here in Missouri, we have a saying that if you don't like the weather, just wait a few hours and it will change. and that's the truth. So anyway, but yeah, it's nice to hear the rain, and it's not sleet or ice. It is a good steady rain. So it should clean up some of the snow, which will be nice to have some of the yucky, dirty snow gone. And then of course, like I said, being a gardener, I know how important it is for the ground to get this moisture into it. So this is what this afternoon on a Missouri homestead looks like and sounds like. Looking out to the east here. Hello, family and friends and fellow YouTubers. It's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner. And today, this weekend, I am out at the Hancock Homestead because I want to continue working on projects. And I did go up to my apartment for a few days and just kind of hibernated. I know I should have done a video while I was up there, and I don't know, I just didn't think about it. So I'll try to get in an apartment video soon. But this weekend, like I said, I am out here at the Hancock Homestead to work on pictures and more videos. John's internet out here is much faster. So like I can work on the videos up at my apartment, but then whenever it comes time to upload them to YouTube and get them sent out to you guys, I come out here to John's to do that because his internet is just like way faster than mine. But anyway, while I'm out here this weekend, I'm going to be fixing some vegetable soup. John actually has a pot of vegetable soup going for himself, but we have a little bit difference of taste. He likes things a little bit more flavorful, I guess you might say, so he adds things like mushrooms and garlic and peas, and I don't like those items, and barley. Now barley I can handle, but I do not like the taste of mushrooms in soup. I do not like a heavy garlic flavor. I don't mind a little bit of garlic, but he kind of overdoes it for me. And he likes to use onion soup mix. And for me, that's just too strong of a taste. So I like things mild, okay? So I'm going to be fixing vegetable soup using his leftovers, and mine's going to be a milder flavored soup for me. But that's okay, everyone has their own taste, and he did it all himself. So I didn't have to go to any trouble to fix him the soup the way he wanted it. He did it. So I'll show it to you though, so you can see it does really look good. I just know from past experience that there are certain flavors I just do not care for, and mushrooms being the number one. I can handle mushrooms on a pizza, and of course a lot of times on a pizza I can pick them off, but not in my soup. So anyway, let's go over and take a look at John's soup real quick so you can see what a good job he did, and then we'll come back and work on my soup. Okay, so John also chose to put his soup in a crock pot, which is great because he fixed it this morning, and now he's gone to work, and so he'll just let it cook and simmer all evening while he's at work, and when he gets home at midnight, he'll probably have a bowl. That's his schedule, you know, and then he'll go to bed and he'll have it ready for his meals tomorrow. But anyway, look at John's soup. I mean, it really looks good. I have to give him credit for making a really good looking soup. Well, actually his is more of a stew because he doesn't have as much liquid in there, but all right, see that right there? That's a mushroom, and that's a pea. And I don't like mushrooms or peas. Although the peas, I will admit that The peas, I don't really taste that much. I could probably handle it okay with the peas. But these mushrooms, oh no, 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 no. So anyway, but like I said, he's got his soup or stew his way, and I'm going to be fixing mine my way. Okay, family and friends, so while I'm sitting here prepping the vegetables for my vegetable soup, and I did put water in here to rinse these off as I go, and then I'll drain the water and add the vegetable juice. But anyway, so I'm gonna prep the vegetables first. But while I'm prepping the vegetables, I thought that we could have a chit chat. I thought that I would answer some questions that have been presented to me by a troll nonetheless. And no, you will not find these questions on my channel because I deleted this troll's comment mainly because of the way she asked them and her tone of voice and her follow-up. And it was just mean and nasty and unnecessary. If she had asked me in a nice manner, I would have been more than happy to answer her, just like I'm doing for you guys now. But I'm not going to have someone be mean to me, okay? So, and by the way, I did cut my own bangs, but I don't like traveling in this kind of weather, and I was getting tired of my bangs being in my eyes, so I did this myself. So anyway, if you're asking, did she cut her bangs? The answer is yes. Okay, but anyway, I digress, and I might do that a couple of times because sometimes I have a hard time focusing, doing more than one thing at a time. Anyway, here we go. So when you have been on YouTube as long as I have, and it's been 8.5 years, this August will be 9 years, you're bound to get some mean comments, okay? And especially at the beginning of my channel when I had a lot more viewers, or a lot more views anyway, I really got some mean comments from people, and I would just delete them and go on. But I know that this person is a troll, and the reason I know is because, and I think it's a she, because I don't think men can get as catty as we women can sometimes. All the women out there are going, what are you saying about us? But anyway, I think it's a woman just because of her tone, okay? And I think it's the same woman because of her writing style. I've been a teacher long enough that I could tell different writing styles of my students, and I can tell from her writing style, and I'm pretty sure it's the same person. So, you know, the first, I don't know, like maybe 10 comments that I got, I would just read them, say, oh, and delete them and go on. But after, she just started getting meaner and meaner, guys. So finally, I deleted and then I reported her. So, and I thought she was gone for a while. But a couple of days ago, after I did my day in the life of January, got a comment, and it sounded pretty nasty, and it looked like her writing style. So I don't know how long YouTube bans them, but I think she might be back. Anyway, I've deleted again and I've reported again. But if you're out there, Miss Troll, I'm going to answer some of your questions, okay? And I'm going to answer these questions for my other subscribers out there as well, because I'm sure there might be some of you thinking the same thing. And so, and just don't want to approach me about the topic. And I respect that and I appreciate that. But since I need something to talk about while I do this, I might as well answer the questions. Okay, so here's the first thing that she always comes up with. And this is why I think it's her, because it was there again. And that is, if you and John are divorced, then why are you still out at his home? And why do you all do things together? And blah, blah, blah. Okay? Well, I mean, to me, the answer is very simple. because John and I are still friends, because John and I share 3 children and grandchildren, and we have decided that we are going to be respectful to each other, that we are going to remain friends, and that we're just, life happens, okay? And most of the time when I'm out here, not all the time, there's times I come out just for myself, but a lot of the times when I'm out here is because I'm babysitting, and it's a lot easier for me to babysit out here than it is for me to do it in my little apartment, because out here they have a bigger house, they have yard. In my apartment, there's not a lot of room and there's not much yard, okay? But regardless of whether I'm babysitting or not, it's like John welcomes me out here, and he allows me to come out to do my projects. He allows me to come out to do my gardening, my photos, my scrapbooking, things that I can't do at my apartment. And I appreciate it, and he knows I appreciate it. And while I'm out here doing my projects, I do things for John. I clean his house. I will vacuum and sweep and mop and do laundry and, you know, things a general housekeeper would do for you. So it's not a one-way road here, okay? John allows me to come out to do my projects, and while I'm out here, I do things for him. Okay, but regardless, we're friends, okay? And we share 3 children and grandchildren. So I don't think that just because you're divorced necessarily means that you have to be enemies. Now, I know that there are a lot of people out there that had nasty partners and nasty divorces and cannot imagine ever being friends with their exes again. And for you out there, I understand it, I appreciate it, and I'm sorry. That's just not my case. Now, I will go back and say that when John and I first got divorced, I hated him. I really did, because I never wanted the divorce. He's the one that filed for it. I understand some of his reasons for doing it, but I never wanted it, okay? So the first 2 or 3 years, I was pretty upset, and I pretty much hated him for it. And I took the kids and we moved to a nearby town, and I did as little with him as possible and kept the kids from him, and I mean, except for when he was supposed to have visitation, and just said, okay, well, we're divorced. I'm gonna, you know, this is it. We're done. But, you know, when I saw, my son is the one that really brought it to my attention about how much it was hurting them for me to be so angry at their dad. So I decided that my love for my children was much more important than my hatred for John and what he had done to me. I don't know that I ever really hated John himself. John's a good man. He's got a lot of positive qualities, but I hated that action that he took against me to divorce me and then later evict me and all that rigmarole. But that's in the past, okay? And I don't choose to live in the past. It was 3 years, all right? John and I were married in 1986. We divorced in 2000. So we were married for 14 years. Then from 2000 until like 2003, I went through an angry stage, you know. And then after that, things got better. But so then from like 2003 until 2023, what is that, like 20 years? The last 20 years have been pretty good again, you know? So I'm not gonna let 3 bad years ruin my whole life, okay? All right, so yes, John and I still get along. John lets me come out here to work on projects and I help him out. John and I travel together, and that is because I love seeing places, but I do not like to drive. So John drives, okay, and he doesn't mind taking me along. And usually a lot of times he'll say, hey, I'm going to Colorado this summer, do you want to go along? And I'll say yes, but can we add this to the agenda? And he'll usually say yes. And then like last fall, after my brother passed away, I had asked him, John, I really want to see the Great Smoky Mountains, because my brother had said before he passed that if I ever got a chance, I really needed to go see the Great Smoky Mountain National Park because it was his favorite park. So I asked John, can you take me out there? And he said yes. And he said, but if we go out there, then I want to see the Shenandoah National Park, and I want to see the Blue Ridge Highway or Parkway, and I want to see this battleship, you know, and I was all for it. So John and I, we travel together, and we travel well. And I'm sure you guys are thinking, well, how does that work? Well, it works the same as when I'm here. John has his bedroom, I have mine. When we stay at motels, sometimes John will get his own room and I will have mine. And sometimes if it's really expensive and we decide we want to share a room, then we will get one that has 2 queen beds, and he will sleep in his bed and I will sleep in mine, okay? You know, I mean, my goodness, we've been married for years, and then I've helped John through all of his medical issues. He had, oh my goodness, I know he's had 3 surgeries. Back, okay, so he's had hip, back, shoulder surgeries, and I helped him through all 3 of those surgeries. He's had prostate cancer, I helped him through that. And then, so I've been here helping him through medical conditions at times. And then when I've been sick, or like last year when I had my major knee surgery, he helped me. So it's not like we don't know each other, guys. Anyway, and I'm sorry if this is too much information. And if it is, just click me off. But that troll really kind of put me in a mood, and I thought, you know what, there might be other people wondering the same thing. So, okay, so that's why John and I share lives, and that's why we travel together. I don't like to drive, he does, okay? He likes to see things, so do I. It just makes a good partnership. You might, even though we're not married anymore, we didn't make a very good man and wife, we make a good team, partner team. Kind of like when my sister and I travel, we make a good team. Okay, so that was like the #1 thing that she was always harping at me about. And I'm just like, woman, are you divorced? Did you have a bad divorce? Like, I'm sorry if you had a bad divorce, but that doesn't mean I have to have one. Or I mean, like, yeah, I had one for like 3 years. 3 years of my life was messed up, but I'm not gonna let it mess up the rest. Okay, so that was like the main thing I just kind of wanted to put out there, guys, okay? So now you know the standing between John and I. We are divorced, but we are friends. I have my own place in town, but I do come out here. And most of the time I come out here, I babysit or I work on my projects. And I'm a country girl at heart, okay? I'm very, very thankful to have my apartment in town. Very thankful. I am very thankful to have the wonderful neighbors that I have. But I'm a country girl at heart. And so anytime I get an opportunity to come out here to the homestead, and John doesn't mind me being out here, this is where I'm gonna be. But you know, my channel, or this channel, is about homesteading. And, you know, one of the things that goes along with homesteading is fixing home-cooked meals, okay? So that's what I'm doing, is I'm fixing home-cooked meals. And if I was a perfect homesteader, I would have grown my own potatoes instead of using store-bought. And I would have grown my own carrots instead of using store-bought. But when it comes to my gardens, I'm kind of, I don't know, a lazy gardener, because I love gardening, but I'm not going to grow things that taste the same, or I'm not going to put a lot of energy into growing things that taste the same from a store as they do from your garden. Like, to me, potatoes taste the same regardless of whether I grow them or someone else grows them and ships them to the store. The same with carrots, okay? But like a tomato and a pepper, you know, those, if I can grow those myself, homegrown is way better, because with tomatoes and peppers, you can pick them when you like their ripeness. Whereas potatoes and carrots don't necessarily have a ripening period that they have to go through. You know, I mean, potatoes, you know, do need to be whatever color they're supposed to be and not green, but that's not as hard to decide. Although, let me put this disclaimer out there. My daughter and her husband, they grow potatoes every year because they grow baby potatoes. And I will say that there is nothing better than their homegrown baby potatoes. But for something like a soup, you know, store-bought's fine. I think the reason, I don't know, this might be a reason. Maybe the reason I no longer care whether I grow potatoes is because I grew up with a gardener, okay? My mom was a heavy-duty, hard-hitting gardener, and she grew rows and rows of potatoes. And being the oldest child at home, and the one that did like to, I will admit, I did like to be outside, and I did like to be in the garden, unlike my sister, and my brother was too young. So I was the one that would be out in the garden helping her, and we would dig those potatoes, and oh my goodness, the dirt and the dryness of my hands with that dirt was like nails on a chalkboard. And so I don't know, I guess maybe because of all the potatoes that I have dug up in my lifetime, I'm done. I did potatoes as a kid with my mom, so I don't care if I ever grow another potato. And my mom used to grow a lot of potatoes. Of course, we ate a lot of potatoes. So, and my mom, she knew how to fix them every which way. Okay. But anyway, so back to my point is that if I was a true homesteader, I would have grown all of these veggies myself. So I'm sure there are people out there, and maybe even my troll, going, well, she's not a true homesteader, but I do the best I can. Okay, guys? And I am fixing a healthy farm meal. All right, so. Butter melting over here in the pan. Okay, so maybe I'm not such a bad homesteader after all, because I am going to be using some of my canned tomatoes and my canned corn in my vegetable soup. We like the frozen corn to eat fresh better. The canned corn is okay, but we have been saving it to use in soups and stews because it's not quite as good as the frozen when it comes to eating it fresh. So I did can these. Yay. And yes, I'm one of those people that leave the rings on. You don't have to leave the rings on, but I just always have. Okay. $20.22. That looks good. Okay. All right, so I did use a whole jar of the canned corn. And I know I will end up using the whole jar of tomatoes, but I like to cut them up. Stir my onions here. Oh yeah, those are looking good. Those look good. Okay, friends, well, here it is with all the veggies now in there. You can see the potatoes, the carrots, the corn, the green beans, the tomatoes, the celery, the onions. Everything is now in there. I have a little bit of water in the bottom as a base, but I'm now going to add my vegetable juice. Okay, so I have a bottle of the Best Choice vegetable juice. And now I'm going to add that in there as my soup bases. John used onion soup mix for his soup base. I'm going to use vegetable juice for my soup base. And I did not shake it up because I'm going to use the whole bottle, so I knew it was all going to go in there anyway. And now I will stir. Oh yeah. Let me show this to you. Yum, yum. Especially for a cold winter day like today. Okay, so now all I have to do is let this cook for half hour to an hour, however long it takes for the potatoes and carrots to soften up and for all of these flavors to mingle together. And then we'll have it for supper. Okay, so one of the projects that I have been working on and will continue to work on during this weekend are the photo albums. I'm working on high school graduations right now because I decided I wanted to revamp their high school graduations a little bit. I had some of it done, but then I said, okay, well, I kind of want them to be the same. So I'm going through and saying, okay, let's put in all of the baccalaureate pictures first. So I did all the baccalaureate pictures. And then I said, okay, let's put in all of the Holy Rosary graduation mass pictures. So I've done them for each kid. Then I was like, okay, let's put in all the graduation ceremonies. So I did that for each kid. And now I'm working on the family pictures that we took during the graduations. And then after that, I will work on the parties, the after parties that we gave them. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of revamping their books so they're sort of the same. They're not going to be exactly the same because of course they're individuals with different people involved, but the sections will be the same. So, all right, but that's what I've been working on. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is while I'm waiting for the soup to get done, I'm going to watch some YouTube. And then I will probably watch some TV. I try not to watch a lot of TV, but I do watch some. I usually watch TV when I'm eating, like at lunch, I'll watch an hour or two. And then in the evenings at supper, I will watch a couple of hours. Ever since the kids have left home, moved out, I've had to eat by myself. And I really don't like to just sit at a table by myself and eat. So I eat here and watch TV. I don't know, I feel more comfortable doing it that way. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch some YouTube, and then I'm gonna get the soup out for supper, and then I'm gonna watch some TV, and then that will be it for today. Okay, family and friends, the soup is ready. Just some up for you, or for me. Okay, more carrots in there. There we go. Oh, yeah. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yum, yum. So I'm going to put some oyster crackers in mine. All right, let's go back in and let's watch something on TV. All right, I have my vegetable soup. Let's get a potato. Let's get a carrot. I see a green bean. Let's get a cracker. Doesn't that look good? Let's give it a try. Really good. If you heard any crunching, it was the cracker, because the potatoes, the carrots are great. They're not too soft, they're not hard, they're just perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to enjoy my soup now and watch a little bit of TV. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, hit that subscribe button to Kilm's Country Corner Homesteading. And if you want to see more about my travels, go over to my other channel, Kilm's Country Corner Travels, and watch some of those videos. Well, thank you all for being here with me today. Be sure to leave me some suggestions in the comments about some kind of content I could cover, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
What do I get today? Actually, you want to get the coin so that you can buy keys and other things. You don't have enough keys. You don't have a single key, Jackson. Yeah, I know. You want to get the coins. Whoa. Jeffy, I just went into a train track and then went into a train track. Whoa. Without even getting hit by a train.